the same thing. We can deliver health care more efficiently. We can reduce wait lines. But just let us do the job. So I have a clear message for all the doctors, the nurses, and frontline healthcare workers. Help is on its way, resources are on its way, but most importantly, we're going to start listening. My friends, we go to the next number one issue. Health is number one priority over anything. And even with the seniors, I've heard over and over again with the seniors, dental care is just through the roof. We will be taking care of the dental care for the seniors. Seniors built this city, they built the province, they built the country. It's about time we start giving back to the seniors. That's going to be a priority. The second, by the way, when we talk to seniors, I want to mention this. Healthcare is always the most important for every single person because we're nothing without our health. But the number one comment I get from seniors is, I want my children to have a great paying job or even a job. I want my grandchildren to have a great education because right now the education system is broken as well. I say when you look at our grade 6 math students, only half of them have hit the provincial standards, and they want to throw another $60 million at the problem. There's still half of them are at the provincial standards. We have a college strike that went on for 5 weeks, the longest college strike in Ontario's history. And 26,000 students never went back to school. Just say 26,000 students. That's a town that lost a year in education. Then they bring down their liberal ideology and the indoctrination of our children with their sex ed curriculum. My friends, we are going to let the parents get involved and have a voice. We're going to get the teachers involved to have a voice. Because right now, every teacher I talk to, and again, we have the greatest teachers in this province that are just telling me, Doug, I want to be able to have a say in what our kids are being taught, no matter if it's math or any curricular document that the Board of Education or the Ministry of Education sends to us. But we don't have a say. They will have a say. They will have a voice on math. Let's get back to the basics. The other area of education we have to start focusing on are the trades. We're short on the trades. I'm looking out in the crowd, and I'm sure you went to school around the same era as I did, maybe some earlier, some later. But we always have the trades. You go in there, you learn a little bit of the electrical, sheet metal, and everything. That doesn't exist. And when I go in and I speak to these high school students, and I always ask, it's always a graduating class, how many are going to college and university? 80% raise their hand, 20% are standing there with a blank look on their face. Like, where do I go? So I always tell them a story about people that I've known that never made it to college or university, but got involved in a trade. No matter if it's electrical, plumbing, no matter if it's carpentry or drywall. And they have an incredible opportunity. We need more trades. Every single contractor I talk to says, I don't have the tradespeople. We need more. My friends, tradespeople make good money, as you know. They can make $80,000 to $100,000. Plus, they can start their own business. And I tell this one story I find interesting. I tell it to the students. I knew a young guy in high school. And, you know, he was one of the 20% that I guess never went to college. I don't know the number back then. It was a few years ago. But I saw him 10 years later. And I remember him saying, I always ask, you know, what's John doing? Oh, he's working in lawn care and everything, and people think lawn care. I saw him 10 years later, he had 20 people, formed a company, had 20 people working for him. Was taking care of lawn care for corporations, for households. So I always say, it's so important, never ever think, if you can't make it to university, You can't be an academic. You have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to make sure that you put food on the table of your family at very good living. So my friends, we're going to start focusing on the trades. We look at the energy costs right now, through the roof, absolutely through the roof. We're going to make sure right off the hop, we're going to reduce hydro rates. And people ask me, how are you going to reduce the hydro rates? Well, you look at the big scam called the Green Energy Act, and that's a scam. I don't know one person, honestly, I don't know one person isn't concerned about the environment, isn't environmentally friendly in their own house. I have not met one company, not one single company that is not environmentally friendly on all aspects. But the Green Energy Act is a scam. These wind turbines that we're losing money on, and it's costing us. These are just some of the scenarios that are driving up our cost. You have the bankers and the investment bankers not making hundreds of millions of dollars off each and every one of us. They're making billions. Billions. There's energy and electrical power we aren't even using that's being tossed. And then, you know, to put the cherry on top of the whipped cream, as they say, the sunshine list comes out. I don't know if anyone's saw the So I've been hammering away about the Millionaires Club. The Millionaires Club is from Hydro One. And Kathleen Wynne put a kibosh. Everyone else's salaries were shown. And I'm not, honestly, folks, I'm not worried about the people making $100,000. I'm worried about the Millionaires Club. So we finally keep hammering away at the CEO of Hydro One. He's making $4.5 million, and they're keeping the hush-hush. Finally, after every single day going after this guy, they were forced to publish their salaries. What an eye-opener. It's not just the guy making the $4.5 million. It's the guy making the $2 million and the $1 million and the $3 million. He has all his buddies making a ton of money, but this is the kicker. As people are opening their hydro bills, and we've seen it crisscrossing this province, we've seen it every single town we go into, people are deciding between heating and eating, as I always say, struggling to pay a mortgage, and this guy has the nerve to give himself a $1.7 million raise. Anyone give themselves a $1.7 million raise? Unheard of. I wish I could. Honestly, I wish I could. We don't give anyone a $1.7 million raise, but even worse, all his buddies were getting $1 million raise. $1,800,000, $900,000. When you go home, go online and look at the raises. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disrespecting the taxpayers. Well, I can tell you folks, I'm putting him on notice. He's on notice. He is gone. He is gone when we get there. He can take his $6 million and go. When I look at Quebec Hydro CEO is making $400,000, and this character's making $6 million. Something's wrong. You know, it's like a tradesperson making $1 million, and the other guy's making $100,000. But there's, again, zero accountability. Kathleen Wynne, hush, 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 hush. Don't say a word. This is where we're going to bring accountability. We're going to bring transparency and integrity back to the taxpayers, back to Queen's Park. And all the cronyism and all the political elites, the political establishment, the political insiders, they're done. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. We will make sure, again, that the grassroots people are going to have a voice. It's about empowering the people. It's empowering the people, not empowering the government. The Liberals truly believe, and Kathleen Wynne truly believes, she can outsmart everyone again. She's not going to outsmart anyone anymore. She thinks she can hoodwink everyone, by giving away everything. There's no such thing as free. Our children, our grandchildren will be in debt forever. We have to start paying down our debt. It's no different than our households. You can't spend more than what you take in. But when the budget came out the other day, she's promising the world, and I thought I was watching the Oprah show. You know, you get a free car, you get a free card. But yeah, no one believes her anymore, and rightfully so. That's right. We saw this trick before. We saw the trick of we're going to lower the car insurance, for instance. They never lowered the car insurance. She hoodwinked everyone. We're going to balance the books. She never balanced the books. I don't even know what the books are going to look like when we get in there. She's up to $8 billion. And then when she says, oh, it's only $8 billion, all of a sudden the Auditor General, thank God the Auditor General came out and said, we found $1.3 billion you didn't account for. So how much more is she hiding? She's hiding billions probably. But again, those days are done. My friend, those days are done. We're going to make sure that we empower the people. It's all for the people. And when I come back here as Premier, I can't wait to stand in front of each and every one of you, look you square in the eyes and say, we did it, we did it, we did it. Because nothing drives me more crazy than politicians. Actually, politicians drive me crazy generally. They do. Honestly, they do. They know it too. But nothing drives me more crazy than politicians coming up in the election, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and it never happens. And that was another clear message I sent the people putting our policy together. If we can't do it 100%, because I'm hitting every single town again, don't put it in the policy. Make it reality. We can save 4 cents on every dollar. This bloated government, this absolutely bloated government is facing. I'm going to give you a good example. I was up at Sioux Lookout today, and speaking to Chief Bull, what a great guy, went to the hospital there, and they had 20 long-term beds. 20 long-term beds for an overall population, because it encompasses hundreds of kilometers, it's staggering, of approximately 30,000 people. So a hospital bed, they told me today, is costing the taxpayers $3,500 a day to run. Long-term care beds are costing $132. So the long-term care people are staying in the hospital beds. And they just showed me one easy way about efficiencies. I don't believe in the word cuts. I just don't. I've been down that route before. I've never done it. When Rob and I went down to City Hall, and it wasn't just Rob and I, by the way, I stayed all the time. It was a whole team. It was a deputy mayor and budget chief and everyone. When we went down there, and there were double-digit tax increases, and the people were getting gouged, we saved the taxpayers $1 billion. It was actually over $1 billion. Because every time I say $1 billion, I get a call from the budget chief saying it's over $1 billion. But anyways, we'll say $1 billion. Not one single person got laid off. And I've said this story 1,000 times, and the media knows it's true. That's why they've never challenged us on it. I don't believe in taking the livelihood off someone's table. We just don't do that. We will make sure we're going to drive efficiencies through proper procurement purchasing. So when we have a ministry, and we have a dozen ministries and agencies coming out of our ears, and everyone does their own purchasing, they buy their own cars, they buy their own gas, they buy everything. Common sense says you buy everything together. You look at, and I don't like to mention retail stores, but you look at a Walmart or a Loblaws or whatever, it's not one individual store that buys it. They buy it as a joint venture. And when a ministry actually doesn't spend their budget, you've heard this story over and over again, spend your budget or they're going to cut it. I'm going to take another approach. Don't spend your budget, and we'll give you an incentive. I have no problem standing up in front of the public and say, this ministry and these great staff just saved $100 million. Let's split up a little bit. It's not a lot, but a little bit to these people. Basically, it gives them an incentive. to save money, rather than just going out there and spending recklessly, absolutely recklessly. Friends, on June the 7th, it's going to be the morning of June the 8th, this province is going to turn the corner. But we can't do this by ourselves. We have one shot at this. One shot in 15 years to make sure we're able to turn the corner for each and every single person. Turn the corner to create jobs, get rid of this nasty, the worst tax ever is the carbon tax. The carbon tax hurts every single one of you, every person in the country it affects. And the funny thing is, they put the word carbon in front of the tax. It has nothing to do with that. They just want to get more tax, put it in the general coffers. And the escalator taxes I talk about the gasoline, it don't go up, it just automatically goes up. Everything goes up. There's zero accountability. So we're going to make sure that we focus on the cap and trade policy. And I've said this before, the best cap and trade policy there is. We're going to cap all taxes and trade Kathleen Wynne. That's what we're going to cap and trade policy. But her cap and trade policy makes these companies pay $469 million. These are staggering numbers. So $469 million goes to California and a little bit to Quebec. That's $469 million they can reinvest, buy equipment. And keep in mind that 80 to 85% of people are employed by small employers, like the mom and pop shops. And I've talked to more small employers than ever before. And it was in one area, a gentleman opened up a recycling facility. He had about 30 acres, and he took in all old tires and drywall and wood, and he was super environmentally friendly, and recycled everything. And he said, Doug, it took me 7 years to get through the red tape and bureaucracy. Just think about opening a company, 7 years. And $1 million fighting the government. How do you open up a business? He says, I have another 30 acres, 100 miles away. I want to do another facility, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I think he employed 25 people, 30 people. He says, I'm not going through 7 years of fighting with the government. What government fights entrepreneurs to create jobs? I don't know of any. Yeah, Kathleen Wynne. We have to make sure, I always say the government doesn't create jobs. They create the environment to create jobs. They make sure they cut the red tape and bureaucracy. And the regulation, you got it, sir. I'm starting to like that jersey. Even though I'm a Leaf fan, I'm starting to like that jersey now. That's what you do, you get rid of them, because a lot of these people just try to justify their jobs. They justify it by putting every rule and regulation you can possibly think of, putting every burden, every roadblock they can. But we're going to tear down the roadblocks, we're going to tear down all the red tape, and make sure it's easy to open up a small company. It's easy to make sure that you're able to employ people. There's on the minimum. On the minimum wage, you know who's making more money than anyone? Is the government.
Oh, yeah.
They're making more money, so they increased it. Now these poor folks are getting gouged, so she's making the most money. I have a different approach. Anyone under $30,000, I'm going to put more money in their pocket. They're going to pay 0% tax. That's helping them. Friend, we're going to chat later. I didn't hear what you said. Well, homeless, we need to take care of the most vulnerable people and the disabled. And how you do that is by saving money and being able to take care of people. Oh, I always mention Rob. Rob and I had a very simple philosophy. Take care of your balance sheet and you'll have extra money. Stop wasting billions of dollars and we're going to be able to help the disabled, the most unfortunate people, and giving them a hand up. It's an absolutely a priority. Mental health and addiction, we're going to pour money in that. The reason being, every single person in this room knows someone that might have a mental health issue, a friend, a relative, a family member that has an addiction, that needs help. We need to take care of those people. That's a priority. So once we start finding efficiencies, we'll be able to have some money. And I always say, you know, Kathleen Wynne, and I always say that. I shouldn't say Kathleen Wynne directly. I should rephrase this. The Liberals and NDP, they act like poverty pimps. And I'll tell you what I mean by poverty pimps. No, I'll tell you what I mean. They pretend to help the most needy, but they're gouging them. They're gouging them by their increasing the taxes. You go buy a loaf of bread, you go get gas, and they're jacking up the price on everything because of the tax. You don't take care of people, the most needy people in society, by jacking everything up and getting rid. This is another staggering figure. Getting rid, we've lost 300,000 jobs since the Liberals have been in power. 300,000 jobs have left this province. That's 300,000 jobs and 300,000 people that are struggling, absolutely struggling. We're going to make sure we go down to that border, as I said last time I'm here, and put that big neon sign up and say Ontario is open for business. We will do whatever it takes to attract businesses, make sure there's good employment for every single person. And how we do that, again, we lower the hydro rates, we get rid of the carbon tax, we lower the taxes, we make sure we get rid of red tape and regulation, give companies some incentives to open up and stay here. That's what we need to do. And make sure, because these small companies are struggling, believe me, they're struggling hard now to meet payroll. As I met a lady that opened a chocolate little company, and she has 12 employees, and tells me that she hasn't seen a paycheck. I'm sure she makes a little bit, but a real paycheck in 6-7 years because of the hydro costs. We want these entrepreneurs to make money, and then you get the big guys that come in. They will leave us in a heartbeat. They will leave us in a second if we don't create a great environment for them, to make sure that they can move forward, because they can move anywhere. They can go to Quebec. They can go south of the border. You see what's happening south of the border. And I make it very clear, I don't give two hoots if it's Trump, Obama, Clinton. I don't care who's down there. All I see is what's happening. I see that they lowered the corporate tax rate from 36% down to 21%. And all of a sudden, mysteriously, it's not mysteriously, I'm being a little sarcastic, mysteriously, their unemployment's the lowest in 20 years. There's trillions of dollars coming into the country. Red tape and regulations being cut. You know, I was down in Windsor, and the engine plant is going down to Michigan now. And I'm telling every single company, I'm trying to get the message out there. Help is on its way in less than 60 days. I think 59 days, help's on its way. I'm sorry, man? 57. Thank you. You even know better than I do. 57 days. Actually, we're talking about how many days. I'm just focused day to day to make sure we get the message out. I'm working nonstop from morning to night. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight, because together, we can turn this province around, and together we will get rid of Kathleen Wynne. God bless each and every one of you, and I can't wait for June the 7th. Thank you.
Yeah!
As most of you know, I'm Brandon Poshma, the candidate for Thunder Bay Atikokan. I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out. It's been a long time since we've had over 225 people in one room on short notice here in Thunder Bay. And we are so grateful. Derek and I are both grateful. Get up here, Derek. Derek, come on up.
Brandon, I apologize. You know something, we always slip up. Brandon's a champion. I mentioned Derek's a champ. You have two great representatives here. Absolutely incredible. My friends, they can't do it alone. Please, that's right. Put up a sign. Put up a sign. Get out, make a phone call, get your neighbors to vote, because we need to turn this province around. I apologize, Brandon. That's okay, buddy.
I just want to say thank you to everyone. And like Mr. Doug Ford said, we do need your help. I mean, for too long, this cloud of uncertainty has lingered over northwestern Ontario. I mean, how long has it been since we've actually had hope in the north? It's been way too long. We need your help to get this message out, this message of hope. Let's dream big, let's aim high. And with Mr. Doug Ford projected to be premier, we want a seat at that table. So please, thank you.
Are you going to interview him after?
What's that?
Are you going to interview him after?
Yeah, I got a couple questions for him actually.
For the website, all right?
Yeah.
You
Are
got
you
that?
Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My fucking phone crashed hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. I'm gonna just. Oh, let's go say hi. You can ask him questions. Why don't you go up there, ask
All right.
him questions? I'm still live here. You can.
All right.
I'll record you.
What's that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I work with him. So I just want to give him some water. Is that all right?
Always just be pushy.
We're around the bus.
I agree. Friend, I relate about small business. I have a small business. We're going to reduce hydro rates. We're going to reduce the taxes. We're going to make sure your requirements, because not everything's equal. What people need in Ottawa is not what people need in Thunder Bay. No. We're going to give the opportunity for municipalities to help you, because right now it's one act right across the province for all municipalities, and it's wrong. And most important, when you have an issue, call me directly.
Okay.
And I need your ideas. Lindsay, right here.
I got a lot of ideas from the past.
Yep.
I'm
Good for you. Absolutely. Thank you, my friend.
Shave cost big time.
Absolutely. Hi.
Doug, my
I
friend,
promise this-
my friend
Young lady,
Corey here was supposed to ask.
picture first.
All right, let's do it. Let's go to
There
some
we
room.
go.
I'm going to give someone a table if anyone would like to take the iPod
Good to see you, buddy.
Sure. As soon as you're in, I'll grab your phone with it. and I
I'm
will
doing good,
be happy
buddy.
to
Good.
do it.
What are we doing? Are we doing interviews? Because we'll do interviews.
We actually are
after.
scrubbing later.
No, we're going to have to do interviews
sorry,
with the
so you
rest of
can't
the
do
game.
that.
I want to do
All right,
interviews.
let's do
Can't
that.
wait for the rest of the
No,
game.
you're
How
not.
about